This news program is proudly brought to you by Smart Start Breakfast Biscuits and Now Biscuits.
Youths hold mock parliament session. Financial Inclusion Forum held. And Coca-Cola sponsors Port Moresby show. A very good evening. This is National EMTV News. I'm Malcolm Waira. Thank you for joining us. The 4th National Youth Parliament took place today at the Parliament House. The mock parliament was chaired by the Deputy Clerk for the National Parliament, Basil Kamburiagan, which saw a total of 60 youths from all over the country participate in the event.
There will be a need for you to go home.
The preparations and sessions towards the mock parliament started on the 18th of this month. The 60 youths attended sessions that includes the different procedures and processes of parliament sitting, as well as how the decisions are made on the floor of parliament. The event was spearheaded by the United Nations Populations Fund, together with the United Nations Development Programme and other stakeholders. Of the 60 youth participants, 30 of them travelled in from other parts of the country, while 30 were from the nation's capital. The United Nations Populations Fund youth advocate Edwin Tewiel highlighted the importance of such meeting.
The main idea behind hosting this parliament is to basically to teach young people about how parliament processes work and also how they can actively participate in democratic processes like the elections that we have, and also the parliament, getting to know how our parliament system also works, as well as the constitution as well. So one project in particular that I would also like to highlight is the We the People project, and that is a project that is currently being facilitated by UNFPA in partnership with the US Embassy in Port Moresby. So basically the objective of that project is to create an awareness around the Papua New Guinean constitution.
He said over the week the youths participated well in all sessions.
Yes, actually I was quite impressed with their level of participation as well. They also bring to them like different backgrounds, different diversity. It was quite a diverse group coming from different provinces, communities and all that as well. And we also have like very outstanding young individuals like the Miss Bird of Paradise, and we also have other really encouraging young leaders that have joined this cohort as well. So yes, in terms of participation, I'm really impressed with them.
They had the opportunity to debate at the mock parliament to have a feeling of how the laws of the country are being passed. They went through all the parliamentary processes. The mock parliament was chaired by the Deputy Clerk for Parliament. Samantha Solomon, National EMTV News.
Prime Minister James Marape recently stated that East Sepik Province has carried over more than 100 million kina from 2021 to 2023 into 2024 due to failure by Governor Alan Bird to oversee the full implementation of 3 East Sepik provincial budgets. In response, Governor Bird emphasized that his responsibility remains with governance and oversight and not implementation.
The Prime Minister in a statement yesterday indicated that Governor Bird is not concentrating on delivering services to the people of East Sepik Province, but has chosen instead to talk politics. Stating that he has the records as proof, Mr. Marape said that the East Sepik provincial government has received more funds than many other provincial governments. However, last year, he said, Governor Bird carried over 100 million kina from more than 3 years of funds, which have been rolled over into the 2024 budget because of what he labelled as the East Sepik governor's lack of leadership to utilise these funds fully in his province. Among others, the Prime Minister alluded to the failure to implement a big-scale European Union-approved cocoa program in 2019 that he had then approved. The Prime Minister said the Marape-Rosso government is doing its part for Isipik province. Governor Bird, in a statement today as response, maintained that funds into the province are used accordingly. He emphasized that his responsibility remains governance and oversight and not implementation, which is the Isipik provincial authorities. Mr. Bird said all funds have been committed for expenditure, and now that the Prime Minister is interested in these funds, he said he is certain the Isipik province public servants will make haste in spending the money accordingly to the proper rules and processes. Mr. Bird regarded the Isipik provincial government as honest and transparent when it comes to respecting the rule of law and protecting public funds. Natasha Ovoy, National, EMTV News.
PNG's national budget for 2025 is anticipated to be tabled in Parliament on Thursday, the 28th of November. Ahead of this, the Business Coalition for Women, or BCFW, highlighted 3 suggestions to the government with emphasis to empower women and boost economic growth.
These suggestions draw on evidence from BCFW's nationally representative survey of 2,026 Papua New Guineans published earlier this week. The suggestions for the 2025 national budget are to include job policies targeting women. Analysis showed that 69% of the participants say PNG would be better off if more women had the opportunity to work, and over 70% think the government should develop job policies specifically targeting women. Their second suggestion is that the budget should prioritize family and household care policies to support both women and men into work. Again, their findings show that among those not working, 39% of women and 14% of men cite household care responsibilities as the reason for not working. Among those who are working, 51% of women and 36% of men cite household care duties as their main reason for not working as much as they would like to. And finally, their third suggestion is that the budget should commit to modernizing the Employment Act, saying this would be a quick win for the government on jobs. Noting that the government is already reviewing the Employment Act, their findings support amendments to introducing paid maternity and paternity leaves and strengthening anti-discrimination protection for women who are pregnant or are new mothers, among others. The coalition urged the government to consider these 3 suggestions for inclusion in the 2025 national budget. Meanwhile, the recently launched labour market survey is the first in recent years to collect data on earnings of Papua New Guineans and the first to estimate the gender earnings gap in Papua New Guinea. Natasha Ovoy, National, EMTV News.
The Centre for Excellence in Financial Inclusion organized a policy forum at the APEC House in Port Moresby today. This was to evaluate the progress of financial inclusion in Papua New Guinea and determine its impact on bank profitability.
The Financial Policy Forum was attended by financial institutions such as BSP Financial Group, Kina Bank, and other stakeholders. The Assistant Governor for the Bank of PNG, George Awab, said this forum was a milestone, as there has not been any such forums held since 2012. Mr. Awab elaborated on the importance of the financial inclusion policy.
Introduced gender equity programs, encouraged consumer empowerment, provided business development skills and mentorship programs, and ultimately, with the aim of bringing people into the mainstream to participate meaningfully in the development of the economy.
He said the policy provides a clear roadmap for financial inclusion for people. Deputy Secretary for the Department of Treasury, Michael Kumo, also elaborated on the importance of this forum.
This agenda of financial inclusion is so important because we need to educate our people how to, understand the importance of money in the capitalistic world. And everybody wants to push the interest to at least make some money for their survival. I think getting to understand the importance of money is so important. how they can make money, how they can use money wisely, and how they can sustain their life by managing what they own.
He said poverty is not defined by a cultural definition, however, it is through accessibility. He said the government has come up with the plan of having the Connect PNG program to help people in terms of accessibility. The governor for the Bank of PNG, Elizabeth Genia, said this forum is a declaration of intent and it is important for economic growth.
It reflects our shared recognition that financial inclusion is not merely a policy goal, but a transformative force for economic growth, poverty reduction, and social empowerment.
She said for everyone to access financial services, there has to be challenges and opportunities.
Ensuring that every individual and business can access financial services is both a challenge and an opportunity. Financial inclusion is the bridge that connects aspirations to opportunities, enabling individuals to plan for their futures, invest in education, and weather unexpected hardships.
The event will conclude tonight with an award program for the different stakeholders by the Center of Excellency for Financial Inclusion. Samantha Solomon, National EMTV News.
The much-anticipated Port Moresby show has officially kicked off today, bringing a vibrant mix of entertainment, education and community spirit to the National Capital District. After more than 2 decades, the popular event is making a return.
Among the key supporters for this year's event is Coca-Cola Euro-Pacific Partners, which has come on board as the gold sponsor with a sponsorship valued at 80,000 kina. The company is backing the show through its Fanta brand, adding excitement with a special Fanta Fun Zone packed with activities for all ages. CCEP Commercial Sales Manager Tim Solly shared his excitement at the opening and how happy that the company is to be involved in the show's revival.
What I like about the Port Moresby show is, if you think about the concept, it's about people coming together, it's about people sharing experiences, and it's about basically creating community. And so we believe that that's what we stand for as an organisation, and that's what our products do, is it helps people come together. So we're very excited to be part of the show. For me, the show's about community, the show's about people coming together, and I think what's also interesting, and big kudos to you and your team, is I think it's the first time it's come back after 30 years roughly, or 3 decades. So the planning is immense.
The event organizer, Jaives Samare, thanked CCEP for their generous support and highlighted the hard work that has gone into bringing the show back after such a long break.
It was a very hard concept to do. It took an year of planning and organizing, and also to get people's imagination wrapped around that Moresby could have its own show. And it's been maybe 2 decades and more since it's had an event where it could pull a lot of people together. We believe that creating a good community in the city is really important, especially as the city starts to change. And having such an important partner coming on board, literally from the get-go, is such a big deal for us. So thank you so much.
The Port Moresby show promises to be a memorable event this year, featuring a range of fun and educational activities, as well as entrepreneurial showcases. Mr. Samare ushered the Port Moresby residents to come out and enjoy the festivities, stressing the importance of fostering a strong sense of community as the city continues to grow and change. Claire Mauta, National EMTV News.
National EMTV News continues after the break. Stay with us.
Start your day the smart way with the new Smart Start Breakfast Biscuit. Whether you are busy or on a budget, Smart Start Breakfast Biscuits gives you a healthy and affordable breakfast to set you up for school or play. Smart Start Breakfast Biscuits are fortified with essential vitamins for body or brain health. They contain vitamin A for healthy growth and development, vitamin B6 for healthy metabolism, immune system and brain development, and vitamin B12 for nerve and cell health. Proudly made by Paradise Foods.
You get big data and big value with Telecom Good Pillar mobile data plans. From only 3 kina, you get 1 gig for 24 hours. And for only 150 kina, you get 130 gigs over a whopping 30 days. And with loads of Good Pillar data plans to choose from, there's a small, medium or large plan to match your budget. Dial *777# to subscribe. Telecom, connecting you anywhere, anytime.
They wanted time by me plantation house.
Making Diliman House belong family belong you come true. Winning House wants a roots rise. 4 houses, 4 winners nationwide. Buy 1 plus 10 kg roots rice, find him ticket inside long bag, enter him all details belong you, na drop him inside long entry box long or participating store close to long you. So buy now. Terms and conditions apply.
Remember the joy of playing with your toys as a child? At Morning Plus, we believe that every small business deserves a chance to build and grow. That's why we offer asset financing.
Now chance to building something new, to see a different point of view. With Money Plus we're ready to go.
Mipla Halivim Wari belong you.
1, 2, 3, 4.
A winning combination is all about style and confidence.
Relaxo, good luck quality, non-liquid price.
Experience a convenient and smarter way to do your banking with BSB Mobile Banking. You don't have to leave the office or your home to pay for bills. You can view your account balance, transfer funds, top up phone credits, or purchase easy pay units wherever you are. Visit your BSB branch today to register now for BSB Mobile Banking. BSB Mobile Banking, the smarter way to bank. BSB, our bank, our people.
The question is, why haven't wages, why hasn't household income not risen in line with the cost of living?
We try to make sure that the prices that business houses charges are not over and above.
It's equipment, you can put it on a ship, on a building.
We all know that right across the country, there's extensive blackouts.
Drastic environmental damage that will start to occur even before the development commences.
Presenting in-depth commentaries, interviews and discussions of the major current affairs issues, both domestically and internationally. Issues ranging across politics, bureaucracy, the environment and economics, as well as health, social and cultural issues. That's on Monday night, right here on your #1 to watch, MTV. You're watching National MTV News. Students enrolled in Bukbilon Pikinini's early childhood education program celebrated the Universal Children's Day. The event emphasized the significance of children's rights, well-being, and the importance of being heard.
This year's theme is Nurturing Futures Through Nutrients and Fitness, and it is celebrated to highlight the importance of children's rights, well-being, and the need to amplify their voices for a brighter future. The BBP Nutrients Education Program, launched in September this year, is seeking to support students and parents to become nutritionally literate, encouraging appreciation for the importance of healthy foods for learning and well-being. The event saw PNG Olympic Committee Programs Coordinator Miki Tamarua speak to the children about the types of food they ought to eat to power their athletic efforts for maximum performance. The committee also had fun with the children going through a very professional obstacle course for lots of fun drill exercises and games. Parents also participated in an engaging nutrition information session, learning simple and practical ways to plan and provide nutritious meals for their children. Lauren Jimal, National EMTV News.
As the schools around the country are nearing the close of another academic year, Bugandi Secondary School in Laos, Moresby Province, had its 29th grade 12 graduation today. The event was officiated by Robin Callistus, a representative from the Office of the Deputy Prime Minister and member for Laos, John Rosso.
A total of 444 grade 12 students graduated today at Bugandi Secondary School in Laos. The event was attended by government officials, sister schools, few business houses, teachers, parents and students. While giving his keynote speech, the Chief Executive Officer for Laos City Authority, Robin Callistus, said more classrooms will be built by the member for Laos as well as other infrastructure for the school.
We are also going to build ablution block for grade 10s and support to the famous Bugandi brass band, as we have witnessed. The member has committed funding for the brass band. Another ongoing support to ensure the Bugandi Secondary becomes a center of excellence for education learning in Laos and in Moresby Province.
He elaborated on the plans the member for Laos, John Rosso, has for the school.
Now suppose member come again, by grade 9 classroom will be built. 81 classrooms will be built for Bugandi. So this is the commitment the member has made with LCA to improve the facility. The installation of secure perimeter fencing to ensure the safety of students and staff, which has also been built. The building of new ablution blocks.
Principal for Bugandi Secondary School, Dennis Mayel, highlighted the school's accomplishments for this academic year. He also acknowledged the member for Laos and the Laos City Authority for their continuous support towards the school. He also highlighted that this will go a long way to motivate students and teachers, making Bugandi Secondary great again.
The Bugandi Secondary School was to have this new building being erected. Having the full support of our LCA with our Deputy Prime Minister, Honorable Member John Rosso, we are moving forward. And one of the biggest achievements that we got for this year was the completion of our grade 11 18 classroom. That would be eventually open up for use.
After the speeches, the presentation of the certificates were made to the students. Bugandi Secondary School has a total of 2,000 plus students who have attended this year. Samantha Solomon, National EMTV News.
The Boreboa Primary School held its last grade 8 graduation today that saw 344 grade 8 students graduate, following the government's education policy of phasing out grade 8 examinations that will come into effect next year.
The Deputy Secretary of Education Services announced that the Ministry of Education is embarking to ensure that all schools in the country must implement the 166 policy. Schools in NCDC will be the model for other provinces.
ECE starts come 2025. Kindi 1, Kindi 2. We will not use the name elementary. There is no elementary. In Boreboa School, we have grade 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And we're trying to get 9 next year. So that's up to the Board of Management, the parents, the community, because I'm all going to pick in and comes up in St. Louis catchment. So you will have to take responsibility to work with the school, to put your heads together to improve the school.
The 166 policy will be a one entry and exit point for students starting early childhood learning to grade 12s. Meanwhile, the chairman of Boreboa School Board said the government's allocation of school funding is low for schools with a bigger student population.
Before it was been okay when we had the parents component to support the school. But when the government made a decision saying that there will be no project fees, no school fees. Everything will be taken care of by the government. But the allocation to the school is very low. My school has 3,487 students in the school.
Boreboa is the biggest school in NCDC with a student population of 3,487. School head teacher Tekla Rosary said the school aims to be a junior high school next year.
Boreboa Primary School is one of the top performing schools among the 39 primary schools in NCD academically.
It's a big school, 3,000 plus, it's a big school. You know what primary school, you got a number of children in primary schools. So it's a very big school. I understand and I appreciate the quality of the classrooms. They are already about 30 plus years old. So we need to have a plan and we need to start working, as soon as possible. So side classroom, you play like in 16-1 classroom, me ready no sabati you play 16-1 classroom.
Malinta Yopolo, National EMTV News.
Now we take a look at the NES Farm Market Report. The kina closed lower at $0.2521 US in the interbank market. At Bank South Pacific, your kina was buying $0.2446 US, $0.3730 Australian dollars, €0.2261 euro, 37.47 Japanese yen. Looking at the commodity prices at New York close, gold is trading higher, coffee closed higher, cocoa closed higher, copra closed lower, palm oil closed lower, crude oil is trading higher, copper closed higher. And on the stock market, the Dow Jones closed higher, the ASX 200 is trading higher, the All Ordinaries is trading higher. National EMTV News continues after the break. Stay with us.
Dear son, you ask me how I live such a good life. Yes, I've had some good luck, like the day I met your mother. But it wasn't always that way. I've made some good choices too, like working hard and keeping my super with NASFAN. They looked after it for me, which meant I could concentrate on looking after my family. Living each day, knowing that when the time came, I'd be ready for tomorrow. Love, Dad.
It is our responsibility to show our people that their careers can make a genuine impact to the world. We inspire studies to enhance professional profile to suit valid employment convenience and promote learning out your skills translate into possible jobs or careers. Our student quality improvement centers on their needs, offering job-oriented certificates and diploma in professional business courses, OHSS courses level 1 to 4, plant operator and motor vehicle driving courses, computing and IT, and business courses for school leavers grade 10s, 12s, and working class. MAPEX Training Institute is recognized by DHEST. Enrollments are now open for plant operator, driving courses, and business courses in 2025. For more information, call us on 7311-4968 or 323-2068 or email info@mapexpng.com. MAPEX Training Institute desires the need to change, innovate, and requires everyone a special contribution.
At IPI Catering, we understand the intricacies of the environments in which we work, providing innovative, fresh and creative catering solutions. Our experience and commitment is a winning combination, delivering great food anywhere and anytime. IPI Catering, part of the IPI group of companies.
Enjoy more talk, more text, and more time online with Telecom More Bundles. Choose from 8 plans ranging from 3 kina with 600 megabytes of data all the way up to 75 kina, loaded with a massive 35 gig. Best of all, each plan comes with an unlimited on-network call minutes plus on-net and off-net talk and text. That's way more time to chat with family and friends. Telecom more bundles. Top up now.
Hi, I'm John Dangi. Join me weekly at 7 p.m. every Tuesday night on House and Home as we talk about pet care, health and fitness, home improvement ideas, feature stories, pick a book, Atok Mom, and everything to do with home and lifestyle. That's House and Home, 7 p.m. Tuesday nights on your number one to watch, EMTV.
You're watching National EMTV News. Moving to overseas news, the International Criminal Court has issued arrest warrants for Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu, the former defense minister and a Hamas military leader.
It is the first time a sitting leader of a major Western ally has been accused of war crimes and crimes against humanity by a global court of justice. Israel's military action was in response to the October 7th terror attacks by Hamas, which claimed more than 1,200 lives. More than 250 were taken hostage. Israeli leaders, including some of Netanyahu's critics, united to condemn the court's decision as anti-Semitic. National Security Minister Itamar Ben-Gvir went a step further, calling for the annexation of the West Bank in response. Israel's most important backer, the United States, has rejected the court's move.
No biased anti-Israel decision in The Hague will prevent the State of Israel from defending its citizens. And I want to thank our many friends around the world, especially those in the United States, who've condemned this outrage and who have said that this decision will have severe consequences for the ICC and those who cooperate with its decision. Israel will not recognize the validity of this decision. We will continue to do everything we must do to defend our citizens and defend our state.
Israel and the United States are not under the jurisdiction of the court, while Palestinian leaders signed onto its governing statute in 2015. It doesn't have the power to enforce arrests, but member states are technically obliged to apprehend alleged criminals, but that doesn't always happen. Several of Israel's European allies have flagged that they would comply, including Italy, France and the Netherlands.
A fifth person has died from mass methanol poisoning in Laos. It follows the death of a Melbourne teenager, Bianca Jones.
Yesterday we heard the devastating news that 19-year-old Bianca Jones had passed away after a high concentration of methanol was found in her blood. That was confirmed by Thai authorities, and it's just completely devastated the community here. That was the fourth death from this methanol poisoning. Since then we've had a fifth death. As you mentioned, a UK citizen, a 28-year-old, passed away. We're also seeing that Holly Bowles, her friend, is in a separate hospital and is remaining on life support. Her family are all there by her side, but remains in a very terrible condition there. These events happened after the girls consumed drinks in Van Vieng, which is a town in Laos where it's known for popular for tourists and partying, but just a terrible and tragic outcome for this. It has been absolutely devastating here. I'm in Beaumaris, which is where the girls are from, this area in Bayside. Tonight was meant to be the season launch for the Beaumaris Football Club, and instead they're gathering, but for a definitely different reason. They're gathering to reflect and come together and lean on each other at this terrible time. You can see behind me that the flag is being raised at half-mast. That's the 2022 Premiership flag that both Bianca and Holly were playing in the team when they won. There's also this first signs of tributes being laid here. We're seeing some flowers and balloons acknowledging that this must be a terrible time for the family.
Russia has struck Ukraine with what it claims is a new hypersonic intermediate-range ballistic missile.
Missiles rain down on Ukraine's southeastern city of Dnipro. Almost 3 years into the war, this vision posted on Telegram appears to show the moment a new type of weapon entered the battlefield. But on the ground, the impact is devastatingly familiar. Local officials say this rehabilitation centre for people with disabilities was damaged in the attack.
They were very powerful. The house shook, but fortunately everyone is alive.
Ukraine initially claimed an intercontinental ballistic missile was used, capable of carrying a nuclear warhead thousands of kilometres. If true, it would have been the first time such a weapon has ever been used in war, even though there was no suggestion it was carrying a nuclear weapon.
Today there was a new Russian missile. All the characteristics, speed, altitude, are intercontinental ballistic. An expert investigation is currently underway. It's obvious that Putin is using Ukraine as a training ground.
But unnamed US sources quickly raised doubts, suspecting it was a shorter-range missile, similar to those used repeatedly by Russia.
We will not be deterred here. We are going to continue to make sure that Ukrainians have what they need on the ground.
A Russian spokesperson was phoned mid-briefing and told not to comment on the strike. President Vladimir Putin later told the nation it was an experimental new weapon and issued a warning to the West.
In the event of an escalation of aggressive actions, we will respond just as decisively.
Putin's threat comes after the US and UK reportedly gave the green light for Ukraine to use their long-range weapons to strike Russian territory.
A heat wave is moving over southeast Australia, with temperatures set to soar this weekend.
Most of Victoria will experience a low-intensity heat wave from today through to Sunday, while parts of East Gippsland, as well as some pockets of the Central District, can expect severe conditions. The Bureau of Meteorology says New South Wales, South Australia and Tasmania will also be impacted.
Some pretty scorching temperatures heading towards southeastern Australia in the next few days. In fact, it started yesterday in South Australia in particular, about 36 degrees in Adelaide, the warmest day there since March, but parts of the state were into the low 40s. Today we see that heat spread out primarily across Victoria. Hot day across the state. As you say, 10 to 12 degrees above the normal for this time of year. That puts Melbourne at about 34 degrees today, 36 tomorrow. Large parts of Victoria, mid to upper 30s today. Also, as we get into the weekend, it'll be warm across Tasmania. High 20s for many down there. Not quite as hot, but still some pretty warm temperatures. And the heat will move into large parts of New South Wales as well. Mid to upper 30s across much of the state there. So it's pretty widespread heat. When it comes to heat waves, much of the southeast has what we call low intensity heat wave, which is sort of the lowest threshold required to call it a heat wave. But we've also got some areas reaching severe heat wave, and that's where we get our severe heat wave warnings being issued. So currently that includes East Gippsland in Victoria, as well as the south coast and Snowy Mountains in southern New South Wales. When you get hot days, and particularly when you get hot, dry days, it always does raise the fire danger. So we've got some widespread high fire danger across the southeast, with a few areas looking at extreme fire danger where we get a bit of wind kicking in as well. So at the moment that's looking to be parts of Western South Australia and parts of northwestern Victoria seeing those extreme fire dangers and associated fire weather warnings.
The UN Secretary General has called on the delegates at COP29 climate talks to compromise to reach a deal.
A day before the summit is scheduled to conclude, Antonio Guterres says failure is not an option. Divisions persist over how wealthy nations will finance support for poorer countries in addressing climate change. Mr. Guterres says he senses an appetite for agreement.
COP29 is now down to the wire. I sense an appetite for agreement, but areas of convergence are coming into focus. But let's be frank, many substantial differences are still remaining. And so I appeal directly to ministers and negotiators. Soften hard lines. Navigate the path through your differences and keep your eyes on the bigger picture.
National EMTV News continues after the break with Trukai Sports. Stay with us.
Accept the challenge. Choose PNG's favorite purified bottled water. True Wara, 100% PNG made.
Proudly bottled by Paradise Foods.
For generations, our families have enjoyed the fresh taste of Besta from our very own waters. Healthy, tasty, and made by our people for our people. Besta continues to be the pride of PNG because we make sure that all the goodness from our oceans remains in our hands. Besta, PNG's premier household brand.
You get big data and big value with Telecom Good Pillar mobile data plans. From only 3 kina, you get 1 gig for 24 hours. And for only 150 kina, you get 130 gigs over a whopping 30 days. And with loads of Good Pillar data plans to choose from, there's a small, medium or large plan to match your budget. Dial *777# to subscribe. Telecom, connecting you anywhere, anytime.
Dear son, you ask me how I live such a good life. Yes, I've had some good luck, like the day I met your mother. But it wasn't always that way. I've made some good choices too, like working hard and keeping my super with NASFAN. They looked after it for me, which meant I could concentrate on looking after my family. Living each day, knowing that when the time came, I'd be ready for tomorrow. Love, Dad.
They wanted time by me plantation house.
Making Dinaman House belong family belong you come true.
Winning House wants a roots rise. 4 houses, 4 winners nationwide. Buy 1 plus 10 kg roots rice, put him ticket inside long bag, enter him all details belong you, na drop him inside long entry box long or participating store close to long you. So buy now. Terms and conditions apply.
At Telecom, we're boosting our network. Households will enjoy better connections, and business will profit from new towers and a more secure network. It feels good to be building a faster, stronger network for PNG.
Hey there, would you like to be the next producer presenter for Kai Time or Kids Corner?
We're looking for 2 amazing hosts, one for our Kids Corner show and one for our cooking show, Kai Time.
If you love entertaining children and activities with children, then Kids Corner may just be for you.
And if cooking is your passion, why not join us on Kai Time and whip up some affordable and tasty PNG-style treats with us?
To apply, watch either one of our shows that you are interested in producing.
Like Kids Corner.
Your Corner. Bye.
Or Kai Time.
Then send us a 3-minute video of yourself hosting a segment of Kids Corner or Kai Time, along with your CV and cover letter to the address showing on your screen.
So if you're ready to take the spotlight
and make some magic happen, apply now.
Only on your number 1 to watch, EMTV.
Trukai Sports.
Welcome to Trukai Sports. The Kumul Petroleum Holdings Limited Charity Golf Challenge was held at the Port Moresby Royal Golf Club today. The challenge saw 49 corporate teams participate to support the charity houses in the country.
In an interview today, Kumul Petroleum Holdings Limited Corporate Service Executive General Manager Dr. Luke Liria gave insights of the competition.
And this is the 5th year that we are running this program. Initially, in the first 2 years, we ran that program with PNG Care, one of the charity that runs here in Port Moresby. Each year, we're giving them around 100,000 out of the program. But now, this is the 3rd year since we rebranded the whole thing and said, no, we will go out, expand it a bit.
He also elaborated on the importance of running such competitions to support charity organizations in the country.
You got kids that arrived in this world at their no fault, with a fault of they don't have fault of coming into this world. We brought them in, and then all of a sudden these kids are, they find themselves on the street, or they are underprivileged, disadvantaged. So and that can become an issue for society, for us. So if everybody can come together and take part in these sort of things and help the people, I repeat this again, this sort of gig in charity work is not for the faint heart. It's for people that something that comes out of that. They stay the course through tough times.
Dr. Leary also mentioned some charity houses in the country.
We've gone up to the highlands. There's around 6 charities up there, and we've got 3, maybe 4 in here in NCDC. Each year, the program raises almost 200,000.
He also gave a brief rundown of the distribution.
And out of the 200,000, Kumul Petroleum meets the cost. Kumul Petroleum runs the program and meets the cost. Kumul does not take anything out of the proceeds of the event. That is our cost, and then we administer that fund with charity houses. How we divide it is based on the number that is in there. Some charities have maybe 8, some have 17, some have 40. So we look at that, and we also look at the need areas of the charity.
Jonathan Sibona, Trukai Sports.
AFL PNG's head coach Douglas Lai gave an update on the PNG Mosquitoes and Flames, who played against the Nauru Chiefs and Aroni yesterday afternoon in the Sunshine Coast, Australia.
Speaking to Trukai Sports, Lai said the Mosquitoes had a convincing win against the Nauru Chiefs, and unfortunately for the Flames, they lost by a close 3 points.
So Nauru, they've had the dominant territory for most of this quarter.
Moses once again conquered its match against the Chiefs with 62 points to 27. The same couldn't be said for the Flames, as they lost their match with Nauru Aroani at 17 points to 14. The Mosquitoes are to play in the grand final against Nauru tomorrow, and the Flames to play out the 3rd versus 4th placing game.
And she kicked it. Oh, this could be disastrous. It falls to Chrissa. Tries to get some space. Impossible angle.
Claire Mauta, Trukai Sports.
Trukai Sports continues after the break. Stay with us.
Trukai Sports.
At Telecom, we're boosting our network. Households will enjoy better connections. Communities will get faster speeds and wider coverage. And business will profit from new towers and a more secure network. Plus, everyone will benefit from onshore storage that brings browsing home. It's all part of our ongoing billion kina nationwide investment. It feels good to be building a faster, stronger network for PNG.
Hilton Port Moresby Hotel and Residence. Hilton Port Moresby Hotel and Residence. Your stay, your house, your home.
The question is, why haven't wages, why hasn't household income not risen in line with the cost of living?
We try to make sure that the prices that business houses charges are not over and above.
It's equipment, you can put it on a ship, at a building.
We all know that right across the country, there's extensive blackouts.
Drastic environmental damage that will start to occur even before the development commences.
Presenting in-depth commentaries, interviews and discussions of the major current affairs issues, both domestically and internationally. Issues ranging across politics, bureaucracy, the environment and economics, as well as health, social and cultural issues. That's on Monday night, right here on your number one to watch, EMTV.
They wanted time by me plantation house.
Making Dinaman House belong family belong you come through.
Winning House wants a roots rise. 4 houses, 4 winners nationwide. Buy him one the 10 kg roots rice, hide him ticket inside your bag, enter him all details long you, na drop him inside long entry box long or participating store close to long you. So buy now. Terms and conditions apply.
You're watching Trukai Sports. The PNG Kyokushin full contact karate team has put a PNG team on the map in the recent World Kyokushin Kaiken International Competition.
Kyokushin PNG branch chief Bernard Soare Senpai shared the team's journey.
We play in Kisim one plus team around Shamlong, Japan. Right, and the team is called the Kyokushin Karate Development Squad of only 3 plus fighters. Right, we have 2 males and 1 female that we play go down long Japan. This is a tournament of Japan or this event of Japan.
He further emphasized and gave his remarks.
A teenager by the name of Tristan Romalus, who is 16 years old, right, from mixed parentage, right. New Ireland, East New Britain, Lohiat, Central, and Narabla Tupla is belong New Ireland, Alois Imi Funmat, right, and 1 plus female, right, Natalie Soare. The 3-4 level, I'm very impressed with them. Right. They competed in 2 divisions, in 2 categories, kata or all forms, synchronized forms, and kumute, which is free fighting now. In kumute, in kata alone, sorry, Alois came second after challenging the Qatar champion belong Singapore. So Singapore came first, Papua New Guinea came second, and third again was Papua New Guinea, but because of the fact that the rule is all same, right, there must not be a bye. Tristan Romalus missed out on the 3rd place. Now Tristan, the junior belong Alois. Natalie competed in the senior category, so green belt, and brown belt, and black belt. And in the opening kata, Natalie was very fortunate and honored to be in that division. She competed one time the Japanese sitting kata champion. Now, to take on a Japanese kata champ like that is no easy task.
He also acknowledged the sponsors. Jonathan Sibona, Trukai Sports.
Moving to overseas sports, the WBBL cricket match between the Sydney Sixers and the Perth Scorchers ended in a thrilling tie.
Both teams scored 126 runs when they batted first, and then they both hit 15 runs in the super overs. The Scorchers hit a 4 off the final delivery to tie the match. Both teams received 1 point, with the Scorchers moving from 5th to 4th on the ladder. The Sixers remain in 6th position. In the following match, the Melbourne Renegades moved to 2nd spot with a 22-run win over the Hobart Hurricanes. Georgia Wareham's 69 got the Renegades to 5 for 150. In response, Hobart could only manage 8 for 128.
Australia is through to the Davis Cup semi-final for the 3rd time in a row after defeating the United States in Spain.
Tanasi Kokonakis put Australia ahead, taking out the first singles rubber over world number 21 Ben Shelton after saving 4 match points in a 6-1, 4-6, 7-6 victory. World number 4 Taylor Fritz beat Alex Diminor in the second singles match 6-3, 6-4. It came down to the doubles, and the pair of Matt Ebden and Jordan Thompson sent Australia through with a straight sets win over Tommy Paul and Shelton. Australia will now play Italy in the semi-finals and are chasing a 7th Davis Cup title and first since 2003.
We've got a bloody rich history in this competition over a number of years, well over 100 years. So these boys know all the great players that have been before them, and it's a great honour every time you get the chance to wear the green and gold out here. You know, we've had a very similar team, or a group of 6 guys that have really put their hand up the last three or 4 years now, and they've gelled together well. We've had to make slight adjustments at certain times because of injuries and stuff, and just super proud of the whole team as a collective.
That ends Trukai Sports. The Money Plus weather report is next. Stay with us.
Trukai Sports. Trukai Sports.
They one time by me plantation house.
Making Diliman House belong family belong you come true.
William House wants a roots rise. 4 houses, 4 winners nationwide. Buy him 1 10 kg roots rice, find him ticket inside your bag, enter him all details belong you, na drop him inside long entry box long or participating store close to long you. So buy now. Terms and conditions apply.
At Telecom, we're boosting our network. Households will enjoy better connections, and business will profit from new towers and a more secure network. It feels good to be building a faster, stronger network for PNG.
For generations, our families have enjoyed the fresh taste of Besta from our very own waters. Healthy, tasty, and made by our people for our people. Besta continues to be the pride of PNG because we make sure that all the goodness from our oceans remains in our hands. Besta, PNG's premier household brand.
You get big data and big value with Telecom Good Pillar mobile data plans. From only 3 kina, you get 1 gig for 24 hours. And for only 150 kina, you get 130 gigs over a whopping 30 days. And with loads of Good Pillar data plans to choose from, there's a small, medium or large plan to match your budget. Dial *777# to subscribe. Telecom, connecting you anywhere, anytime.
Hi, I'm Jordan Dangi. Join me weekly at 7 p.m. every Tuesday nights on House and Home as we talk about pet care, health and fitness, home improvement ideas, feature stories, pick a book, Atok Mom, and everything to do with home and lifestyle. That's House and Home, 7 p.m. Tuesday nights on your number 1 to watch, EMTV.
Dreaming for more than the life we've known. There is more to what the future holds. You me holy man, no walk one time. Oh, 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 oh. We dare to believe in incredible things. Oh, 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 oh. With Money Plus, we're ready to go.
This weather update is proudly brought to you by Money Plus, with you always.
The weather report for the next 24 hours. For the southern region, Port Moresby City mostly cloudy with rain showers and thunderstorms. Daru partly cloudy with periods of rain and thunderstorms. Kerma partly cloudy with rain showers and possible thunderstorms.